This is like the end of The Return of the King. There's like multiple endings to the movie, but it's like, that it's coming up to the end. You've totally seen that movie, right? That's what I thought.
I've never even heard of that movie.
I've never even heard of Lord of the Rings. All right, I'm the nerd. That's
You
fine.
didn't say Lord of the Rings.
It's the third movie in the Lord of the Rings trilogy, the best 3 movies that have ever been made.
Okay, well, if you had said Lord of the Rings, I would have known what you
It's
were
the
talking
final
about.
movie, The Return of the King. It's where the king comes back.
I'm going to punch you right in the throat.
That's great because this episode is all about male-female conflict and male-female relationships. Bring it.
It's
Okay.
all fun and games.
Somebody gets punched in the throat. Welcome to the Whisper and Flame podcast. My name's Michael.
And I'm Jen. Let's get into it.
Yeah, let's get into it. I think our topic today is so important that we're just going to come in hot. We're just going to come in and go right for it. I think if someone really takes this episode seriously and implements it in their life, I think this episode could save someone's marriage.
Wow.
And that's the title of the episode. This episode will save your marriage. Right? Huge claim, huge promise.
You better live up to
I better
the hype.
live up to it. Thank God I'm not just making this stuff up. Thank God it's coming from somewhere other than my own admittedly hard-earned but piss poor wisdom sometimes, right? Yeah. So I think the place that we start is we acknowledge that there's something in the Bible that has caused a lot of harm, but that was never meant to cause harm. It was always meant to teach husbands and wives how to love each other really well. And that place is in Ephesians chapter 5. And essentially the place where we land in hot water really quickly is when we read Ephesians chapter 5 and our eyes go straight to the sentence.
I know what you're going to say.
What is it?
Submit. Wives, submit to your husbands.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. Wives, submit to your husbands. Boy, do you guys not like that. Holy crap. Right?
Oh, you do not like it.
Right.
You are correct.
Right. Because what does the word submit feel like?
It feels like slavery. It feels like I don't matter. It feels like my wants, my needs, they don't matter because I just have to submit to whatever my husband wants and needs.
Yeah.
So shut up and go make me a sandwich.
Shut up and go make me a sandwich. Exactly right. The word submit makes me think, shut up and go make me a sandwich. But that's not what it is, right? We're going to get into what it is, but I just wanted to acknowledge that right off the top to say, yes, that is how that feels. It feels like you're a slave when you have to submit to another person that you're in relationship with. So most people, over the course of the church's history, certainly in the last 100 years, 200 years, most people get wrong what the Apostle Paul is trying to address when he writes, wives, submit to your husbands. Husbands, love your wives like Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her, right? Because we are inheritors of the idea of equality, I don't matter any more than you matter. You don't matter any more than I matter. That word submit feels really loaded, really powerful. And, the church has kind of uncritically read Ephesians and fallen into that trap as well. It has caused real, genuine harm to real relationships that were in progress and maybe now are not in progress anymore, right?
Mm-hmm.
Very real trauma, very real hurt that people have experienced because of an uncritical reading of Ephesians chapter 5. And just to jump onto my little soapbox here for a second, it so matters to read the Bible correctly, because if you don't, you're going to hurt yourself and you're going to hurt the people around you. Like, this is why we sit here and do this. We don't just talk about life. We want to talk about life and very real relationships and all the normal stuff that happens. But if you don't read the Bible correctly, you're going to take something that's really powerful and hurt yourself with it and hurt other people with it. And that's just stupid when you could be reading it better. Read it better.
Read it better. Do better.
Do better. That's bad advice. But also, it's great advice. Read it better, you know? Read it better. Anyway, that's my soapbox. Read it better. Ephesians chapter 5 is not about establishing a hierarchy of men over women. It's not what it's doing. You know, as we moved through Genesis 3, the place where everything went wrong in the human story, according to the Bible, there's this very real men and women tension kind of thing that's happening there. There's this curse that happens, and we live into the effects of the curse by having, you know, completely different needs that are often at cross purposes for one another. And we're trying to meet our own needs in a way that is almost like a zero-sum game. Like, I have all of this, therefore you have none of this, right? It's this very combative conflict kind of curse. And it's a curse. It's not what we should be experiencing. It's not what God wanted.
But we read that as sometimes that's where the hierarchy comes into play.
Absolutely. Absolutely. As if that is what God wanted. No, it's not. The curse is a bad thing, right? Before the curse, it was male and female, side by side, eye to eye, before God. No hierarchy, just partnership. The curse comes in and sets this, your desire will be for your husband, but he will rule over you. Men, you will toil your fingers to the bone, and by the sweat of your brow, and only by the sweat of your brow, will food come out of the ground, and you will be able to provide for your families, right? So it's this, and how many relationships do we see like that? Where the men are the providers, and they're beating themselves down, and they have no time or no power or no energy to come home and really be present with their wife, and his lack of presence generates her having more and more desire, clutching for more, taking more, trying to feel safe and happy and whole again, but it's not going to happen. And so she controls. How many relationships are like that?
Many, many, many.
The Bible called it out thousands of years ago. This is the curse. And today's episode is saying very clearly, we don't have to live like that anymore. This episode will save your marriage.
I think this is where we talk about the curse, or we make up excuses for it without really naming it for what it is. And we'll say things like, well, men are very logical and women are just very emotional.
Yeah, there's truth there, right? Some truth there. Men in general, and we can only really speak in generalities, right? Like, everybody's story is a little bit different. So we want to also acknowledge that, to be sensitive to people. But like, in general, men tend to move towards solutions. Women tend to move toward connection. You know, it's kind of natural. So there is some truth there. But the problem comes when we start seeing people as stereotypes, right? When we start seeing real people as just categories, right? That removes their humanity from them, that removes their agency from them. You're not a category any more than I am. We're speaking in generalities because that's how language works. We kind of have to do that. But we know that everybody's story is, you know, fits into these kinds of things more or less well, not perfectly, you know? So people aren't categories. People are people. God made us to be individuals in communities. And one of the most beautiful communities you can make is a marriage community, right? And that's where Ephesians 5 comes in. And people miss it. They miss the nuance of what Ephesians chapter 5 is doing because they don't start in the correct place. Actually, shockingly, the way you should read Ephesians 5 is from the beginning, right? You start at verse 1. Our modern eyes are so quick to jump to controversy, so quick to
Oh,
look at.
right. Because it's like, what? The Bible says that women have to submit to their husbands.
Yeah.
So what do? You either, you pull it up, Bible Gateway, whatever.
Yeah.
You Google it.
Yeah.
And there's that verse, that one verse.
Yeah.
Not the beginning, of course. You're just reading that one verse.
Right.
Then it's like, holy shit, the Bible really does say that.
Wow. I am a slave to my husband. I don't like this Bible anymore. Close, throw it away. Don't do anything with it, right? That's not the correct way to read this chapter or the Bible. We start with verse 1. Verse 1 says, "Be imitators of God. Walk in love." Right? Male, female, everybody. Be imitators of God. Walk in love. That's the foundation. That's the foundation of everybody's way to relate to each other. And then Paul defines what love is. The Apostle Paul, writing Ephesians, he's defining what love is. As Christ gave himself up for us. Again, be imitators of God, everybody. Walk in love as Christ gave himself up for us. Step in and be like him. Everybody. I'm hitting this really hard because it's really important. Everyone has the same calling overall, right? Then comes, so we're going from verse 1, kind of skimming through it. I'm not going to read it all. You should go read it. To verse 21. The framework for how we are supposed to read what marital relationships should look like starts with a framing. Not just be imitators of God, everybody, but Paul really explicitly says, submit to one another in reverence for Christ. Not male, not female. Submit to one another.
Everyone.
Everyone in reverence for Jesus, right? Okay. So, be imitators of God. Walk in love. Lay yourself down for the other as he has done for you. Submit to one another. And then, and only then, do we start talking about the very specific ways relationships get conducted. So that's when wives, submit to your husbands comes in.
Eek.
It's such a hard word. I know.
I've never heard Ephesians 5 explained the way that you just explained it. It's always been within the context of that one word and that one verse. But it makes so much more sense. Just start from the beginning. Duh. Thank you, Captain Obvious. We somehow miss that. Church sometimes, oftentimes, also misses that.
Jumping around to the verses. I think again, soapbox. Ready? It's for Mikey's soapbox. I think the versification of the Bible was the dumbest thing we could have done because it makes us have these little potato chips of truth as opposed to reading Ephesians like it's a letter written to a church.
Yeah.
Right? You get these little potato chips, these little nuggets of like, oh, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, or I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. It's just a part of a letter. There's an entire arc of understanding that you're supposed to have with someone's like full letter or total thought. Sorry. Soapbox over. Continue.
Whew. You get fired up about this topic.
Because it hurts people when people don't read it right. It hurts people. People actually are harmed when you just go, wives, submit to your husbands. Well, the Bible says it, so you have to. Take off your pants, let's go to bed. You know what I mean? Like, It hurts real people because people get used and the words get twisted and it looks bad on him, which is bullshit, and it hurts real people, which is bullshit. And it makes me really angry. Really angry. There are correct ways to read it, and there are stupid-ass ways to read it. And so many people read it fucking stupid. Continue. Sorry. Sorry.
Whew.
It's my soapbox.
Hey, I mean, it's
I love my soapbox.
Your soapbox is great. I'm not going to,
It just drives me crazy.
yeah. No, rightfully so.
It really does.
And this is why we record these kinds of episodes.
Yeah.
To give people the information.
So I can soapbox.
You love to hear yourself talk.
They know that now too.
Yeah.
The whole world knows it now.
I guess here, if I can quote someone who posted a comment, I guess anybody can have a podcast nowadays.
Yeah, we can. What an odd pair. I guess anyone can have a podcast now.
Yup.
You're right.
Maybe that guy should go start a podcast.
Hey, you should start a podcast. I'd listen to that, maybe. Probably not. I'm too busy being upset and on my soapbox. All right, continue. I'm sorry. No. I'm sorry, everybody. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry.
I have a feeling that's not the last time you're going to get on a soapbox.
I'm not sorry at all.
Okay, so we were talking about things being mutual. This is he starts getting into the relational between husbands and wives.
Yeah. So he starts to talk about what it looks like to have a successful and good marriage, knowing that this was written 2,000 years ago, right? This part of the letter is found in this place called the Household Codes. You'll read about husbands and wives, and then it will immediately move to children and parents, and then it will immediately move to slaves and masters. We don't have slaves or masters, right? So you know that it's this ancient way of looking at relationships. All of it, however, is informed by whatever your role is, whoever you are, submit to one another in reverence for Jesus. Be imitators of God and walk in his love. Both of you, everybody. You're meeting each other's needs, right? Specifically for husbands and wives, what that means is that if you're my wife, I am oriented toward your good. My job is to love you as Jesus loved all of us and to lay down my life for you, to provide for you, to keep you safe. Your job towards someone who's willing to do that, the person that you're closest in relationship with, is to simply trust that person. So the word submit, I don't read it like submit. I read it as trust. Wives, trust your husbands. And husbands, love your wives as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her, right? I guess I just want to ask the question, if you were in a relationship with a man who was consistently present with you, laying down his life to provide for you and protect you, now, not because people are firing bullets at you every day, right? Like it's not that, but it is, he's laying himself down. He is taking second to lift you to the first place of importance in his life. Doesn't that make you then want to trust that man?
Oh, absolutely.
So we don't think of the word submit as submit. We think of the word submit as trust, because that's what it is.
It's interesting because submit feels a little icky. And it does feel like, well, what you need or want doesn't matter. But when you say trust, and when you say that men are partners or to lay down their lives for us and what that means and to lift me up, and if that's done, well, of course I'm going to trust. And I think that's where I have and would lose trust if that's not done. If I don't see that my partner is being present with me, or not lifting me up or prioritizing my needs, which would be laying down his life.
Right.
I wouldn't trust. I wouldn't want to submit. In fact, I'd want and would feel like I have to take over control.
Right. It would drive you to control.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly right. And that's the curse.
That's the curse.
Yeah.
It's totally the curse.
That's the curse. So the thesis of this whole thing, and this is where it hit me. I was reading Ephesians 5 and it hit me. Ephesians 5, Paul's words, are written to start rolling backward, to start reducing the effects of the curse from Genesis 3. It's not about setting up a hierarchy. It's not about saying one person matters more than the other, or one person gets to imitate Jesus more than the other. No, we check the frame. We go back to Ephesians 5:1. Be imitators of God. Walk in his love. Give your life as he gave his life for you. Submit to one another out of reverence for him. We're all called to submit to each other in love. The ways these relationships work out, Paul is addressing this specifically because the curse in Genesis 3, all the way back, is setting up a system where human relationships are distorted and broken. And in Jesus, who broke the curse on the cross, we don't have to live that way. We don't have to have relationships that participate with the curse. We can go against the flow of the curse. We can go against the grain. We can say no to it. We don't have to participate in it anymore. And how we do that, Paul starts to write about. Wives, trust your husbands. Trust your husbands.
God, when you say...
Go ahead. Yeah.
When you say that, I just feel myself relax, exhale,
Yeah.
because how wonderful would that be to be in a relationship where I can just trust.
That's the heart of it, right? Paul goes on and talks about more. Like he does directly connect Ephesians to Genesis. And he does talk about headship. He does say the man is the head of the woman as Christ is the head of the church, right? He's the life giver. And if that requires him to lay down his life for her, that's what he does. You can kind of see how it meets someone's needs to lay down your life for somebody else, to say your safety, your stability is prioritized over mine. I lay down my life like Jesus did for you. But when you trust your husband, that also meets his needs. Again, speaking in generalities, right? But like trusting your husband is something that truly meets the needs of, I think, most men, because we want to come up with a plan and be trusted and see that plan succeed. We want to be lauded and cherished and lifted up like, this is my man and he knows what he's about. He has what it takes. He is competent and I trust him. That meets his needs too.
What do you know?
Just like, holy crap. Just like...
It's almost like someone designed this.
Whoa. You're going a little far. Intelligent design, is that what we're about? I don't know about that. Like some all-powerful, all-loving God made us in his image. No way.
But what does that look like in real life for a man? Like you said, I'm not getting shot at. Like
Right.
There's a man.
You're not taking bullets, right? Typically. Hopefully nobody's getting shot at regularly or at all. What's like a real world example of how a husband lays down his life? Here's an idea. Something from my own failed marriage.
That's a good source of examples.
Listen, all of my examples and all of my wisdom come from my failures. Go listen to episode 7. Go listen to episode 12, 13, 29. It's hard-earned wisdom, right? I know what not to do now because I know it didn't work. Okay. Let's just say a wife brings something to her husband that feels to him like a problem, but to her it's just a feeling that she's expressing. Pretty normal scenario. To the man, he looks at it, he sees a problem that could be fixed if she would just listen. If she would just trust him, he could fix this. For her, it's just a feeling that she's venting or trying to express, just trying to be heard, just trying to have somebody who she loves be present with her, to see her. Right?
Mm-hmm.
The man thinks he's being loving by trying to solve the problem. I see the logic in that. I have done this.
How'd that work out?
Not well. It doesn't work because the wife is aiming for something completely different than the husband is aiming for. And let's be honest, like, a wife brings a feeling to her husband, chances are he wants to solve the problem so he doesn't have to think about it anymore because it's a burden. It is a burden. Okay. So he feels burdened by what it would really take to meet her need in that moment. Does that absolve him from feeling the burden? Does he get to wiggle out of it? No. No. He's got to remain present with her to solve her problem. In order to remain present with her, he lays down his life. He lays down his need to solve that problem so that he can be present with her, so that he can meet her need in that moment, so he can see her, and so she can see herself being seen. That fixes the problem. That fixes the problem of the burden that he feels at the very least. But getting rid of the feeling isn't the important thing. The point is he's meeting her needs. He's meeting her right where she is. Was that clear, or was I dicey on that?
Because
Okay.
said another way, what you just explained in this very common, I'm not coming to you because I want my problem fixed. I know how to fix the problem.
Yeah.
I just want to vent about it. I just want to talk about it. And you're right. It feels very dismissive and like you feel defeated and dismissed.
Yeah.
When your partner is just trying to fix the problem and get the conversation over with versus, no, just see me and have some empathy for what I'm feeling about this situation.
Yeah.
That's what I would be looking for. That's my need.
Yeah.
So now we have this conflict going on of I have a need. I'm coming to you, or coming to my husband. He's not meeting my need, which is to listen and to see me. He's trying to fix it and shut me up.
Yeah, pipe down.
Easy.
What are you going to do? You're going to come across here? We're live on camera. This is actually recorded, and could be edited out, but I would leave it in. If you came across swinging, I would leave it in.
If there weren't such expensive equipment between the two of us,
there's a lot of stuff here.
That might happen. So,
but think about it. Like, if a husband consistently did that, he was unafraid of the burden. And trust me, boys, I've been afraid of that burden. It's a nightmare to feel like there is just one more problem on your plate every time your lady looks at you. It sucks. It's hard. But what if he were to deal with the feeling? Yes, it's a burden, but this relationship requires my presence. I can't ever check out. I have to lock in. I have to really see her and see where she is. If he did that and he laid down his need to not have one more problem on his plate, and he welcomed hers to just see it, to experience it with her, so she's not alone experiencing it, wouldn't she start to trust him more?
Oh, yes. And what a calming...
They create each other.
Yeah, yes.
They create each other. Whoever starts it creates this domino effect of good, this ripple effect of my needs now meet your needs, now my needs meet your needs, and we are in this very real rhythm together. That's why this episode will save your marriage, because if you actually did that as the bullseye of your marriage, you actually took Ephesians 5 seriously, and you weren't upset about it because you were, starting at the most controversial bit with the most controversial word, submit. No. What if you started at me laying down my life makes her trust me, and me trusting him makes him lay down his life for me. It makes him want to serve me, because we're both imitators of God. We're both walking in his love, and we are both submitting to one another to honor Jesus. That's the bullseye.
That's the bullseye.
That's why this would save your marriage. But we're not done yet. No, we're not done yet. Let's get into more trouble. Yeah?
Okay, sure. So, because you gave that very, very great and relevant real life example, a man might say, well, how do I know that she's coming to me to just talk about a feeling, not coming to me with a problem to be fixed? How do I know she really doesn't want help fixing a problem? And I would say
the
to
answer's
that,
easy. She's always coming to you with a feeling.
Why are you making that face when you say that?
Because that's always what happens. And it's so annoying. And I don't have baggage. You have baggage. To answer, the answer to the question is she will ask for advice.
Yeah. Yes.
Most of the time, it's not advice that she's looking for. She's looking to be seen. She just wants to be seen. You know,
Yeah.
speaking in generalities, again, I got to keep putting that chyron at the bottom. We're just talking
Disclaimer.
in generalities. Don't get upset at me. But if you do, bite me because I've said it enough. You know, like this is
Mm-hmm.
typical general stuff. So think back to your marriage. Wouldn't this have been a game changer if you would have trusted your ex-husband and he were able to lay down his life for you and love you in the way that you needed? Like, what would that have looked like? And don't you think it would have changed everything if that was the bullseye of your marriage?
I guess I'm hesitating because we were so far away from anything that looked remotely like this.
Yeah.
It's hard to even imagine
Yeah.
a scenario where we interacted with each other in this way,
Yeah.
where there was mutual, where we were trying to imitate Christ and trying to meet each other's needs. I mean, my marriage didn't work out, obviously. If I'm struggling,
Join the club.
right? If I'm struggling to even imagine a scenario in what that would look like. But yeah, what a game changer that would be.
I just like
I definitely think I would still be married.
I think about mine. Yeah. I think about mine and I think like, so there were moments when I really did try to lay down my life and meet her needs, put her above me and say, this is precious to me and I want to love her correctly. Whatever her need is, I want to be there for her in that moment. But more and more, it was a downward trajectory of we were just meeting our own needs. And when it would hit me and I would try to spark something better to life, it didn't happen. I never felt trusted. Not really. I felt
Not even like maybe a little bit in the beginning.
in the beginning, but after we lost the baby, and we were distant from one another and we were broken apart emotionally and spiritually from one another, that sense of trust started to really go away. And it felt like no matter what I did, it didn't matter. And this is before the affair. This is before all of the ever worsening conditions of our marriage. Like even before that, I never felt trusted. And this is why, another reason why we have to say we're speaking in generalities, because not everybody's story of hurt, of suffering is going to fit neatly into these categories. It's just not going to. But if you can move from the outside of the target, closer to the bullseye center of seeing them and meeting their needs, loving your wife as Christ loved the church, and wives trusting your husbands in a way that meets their needs, then this can actually save your marriage. Everybody's story is different. Everybody's story has its baggage, and it may preclude some of us from fitting into the categories that allow us to move closer to each other. But if we try, at the very least, we can say we goddamn didn't give up, you know? And here's the beauty of it. The beauty of really trying to do this, where Genesis says, he will rule over you. Paul in Ephesians says, he will give himself for you. When Genesis says her desire will be for her husband, causing a grasping distortion of that relationship, causing not just desire for him or his body or his heart or whatever, but ultimately desiring to control, to seize power. Ephesians says, no, wives, submit to your husbands. Trust your husbands. Ephesians is specifically telling us how to step outside of the curse that Jesus already broke. If we imitate God and walk in his love, we don't have to participate with the curse anymore. We can step outside of it and live a different way that gives ourselves in submission to the person we love the most. And we do that to honor the sacrifice of Jesus, who did it for all of us in the first place. Think about the person you'll be if what's always being reflected back to you is you're trustworthy. You're worthy of my trust. Or you're so important to me. You're so important that my life matters less than you. I'll lay down my life because I love you that much. Doesn't that speak to your heart?
Oh, yeah.
And reflecting that back to the person providing it creates this incredible loop of holy mutuality and love. That's the only word for it. It's love. And that's how I think what we're really describing is how secure attachment works, frankly. This is why I don't like Paul getting a bad rap in the Bible. I'm going to get back on the soapbox. I don't like it.
Here we go.
I don't like it because he gets a bad rap and it's not deserved. He's talking about very beautiful and very real ways that we can step outside of the curse of the natural, step outside of the natural, and step into something that's supernaturally good. And that place is where love takes place. When we don't play with the curse anymore, we step into something higher and better.
Ain't nobody got time for a curse.
Nobody got time for a curse. Come on. That's why it's broken.
Go read Genesis 3. Go read Ephesians 5. I mean, after this conversation, I have a whole new perspective on not only Ephesians 5, but I don't think that I connected Ephesians 5 with breaking the curse before.
Yeah.
But as you very wisely advised us to do.
Yeah.
Easy.
Read the Bible better.
Start from
read the whole
verse
chapter.
1.
Read the whole chapter.
Read the whole chapter.
Yeah, I think that's a smart way to do it. And I know we're bopping around on subjects here because I've infected our topic today with my soapbox issues, but nonetheless, they're connected. When you do read the Bible, read the whole chapter first so you know at least the subject that's being talked about. Like, so you can at least kind of get the vibe of why this sentence that your grandma has on her quilted pillow, her toilet seat cover, her fuzzy toilet seat cover, is so important. Like, why did this one get famous? Where is this coming from? What's the point of this? Is it a situation that I can relate to or not? Or am I just plucking this out because I saw it on my grandma's wall? Read the whole thing. Read the Bible better. This episode will save your marriage because this episode isn't based on my wisdom or Jen's wisdom. This is based on the Bible, on God's idea of what human relationships can look like if they are done in honor of Jesus, stepping outside of the curse, trusting his love and his power to do that. And when we react to one another in honor of him, when we submit to one another in honor of him, we are on very good, very strong ground to live a life of love and connected relationships. This isn't going to magically fix your marriage overnight. We can't promise that. But I can promise that if this understanding of Ephesians 5 becomes your bullseye, that wives, if you trust your husbands, and husbands, if you lay down your life for your wives, in all the little ways that would take place in an everyday situation, you will save your marriage. Sounds simple, still hard to do, but Ephesians 5 becomes your bullseye. If you do that, you're on much steadier ground than you were before you listened to our wonderful podcast.
And then you can invite us to your vow renewals.
Ooh, yeah. Invite us to your vow renewals because we love parties.
Oh, cue the music. We like to party. We like to
What?
party. It's a wedding song.
Celebrate
No,
good times.
no.
Come on.
I would.
What
I
choice?
mean, okay,
what
okay.
bullcrap music choice did you make?
Listen,
You have the
listen.
worst taste.
Ah, I'm so offended. Yes, that is the YMCA. Celebrate. We are family.
Dun, dun, dun,
But the
dun, dun,
train.
dun, dun, dun.
Come on, ride the train and ride it. Woo
Why
woo.
don't you do the electric slide here in the studio? So
It's
sick of
electric.
this. Oh my God.
Do, 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 do,
Thank
do.
God we're not
Do, do,
married.
do, do.
Cause then I'd have to lay down my life for your bad taste in
Yes.
music.
Can you imagine?
Bad taste in music.
It's wonderful.
I flung that paper directly at the camera.
I love
It looked awesome. Thank you for joining our conversation today. Give this podcast a like and subscribe to keep up with the episodes that we drop weekly. And if you don't like us, tell your friends about how much you don't like us so that they will hate listen to us. Right?
Who wouldn't like us? I mean, even if
A
you
lot
don't,
of people.
even if you don't like us,
Even if you don't like us.
because you're not everybody's cup of tea.
Boy, that's the truth. Story of my life, guys.
Okay, so if you like us, great. You know what to do. If you don't like us, sorry it didn't work out, but you can still tell people about how much you didn't like us.
I like that you said sorry it didn't work out. I'm real sorry it didn't work out for you on this front. I'm not everyone's cup of tea. That's okay.